And sharing my, oh, I don't need to share my screen yet. All right, I'll get there in a minute, but I don't need to quite share yet. All right, today we are going to be talking about the letters TH. But we're going to talk about them in a slightly different way than you might be thinking. Because TH, here's my stock camera. Oh, I guess I could go ahead and share my screen then. I want to talk about how, oh, for the goodness of me. Everything has to be hard today, I see. Okay, here we go. All right, so everybody at the top, right, TH. There we go, TH. But today we're going to call you're going to find out that TH has two sounds. Okay, today we are going to do the voiced TH. And tomorrow we are going to go with the unvoiced, or depending on where you look at it, the voiceless part of TH. So we think of TH often as a sound that we use this finger for, thumb. That's not the sound we're going to use today. We're not going to make the sound. We are going to make the voiced TH sound like a lot of the words that when we spelled in our spelling test that we spelled incorrectly. Things like then and these and there and then. So that noise that it makes is a voice sound. So right now I want you to put your hand on your throat. And I want you to say the word then. Everybody do it for me. Everybody at home, are you doing it? Then. What did you notice that what do you feel, August, when you say then? You can feel your vocal cord vibrate. Say there. Now, say that other word. Uh-oh, Miss Abby, all the time. On. Okay, say thumb and exit thumb. Do you feel the same thing? No. So today we're going to do what's called a voice TH. Voice TH means you can feel that sound. The sound. You notice that? Did you make a different shape with your mouth when you said What happened to your tongue? These. What is going on with your tongue, Sunny? It's vibrating. Where is it? It's on your teeth, isn't it? It's up to the front. It's sticking out a little bit. Now, say thumb. Does your tongue do the same thing? No, it doesn't. Do you breathe out when you say thumb? Do you feel the air come out? Yes. So today, all of our THs are going to be voiced. So you're going to feel your throat say, make that sound. So this is a what? My friends at home, can you tell? Here, I'll do it this way. So my friends at home, who can tell what that is? Oh, my goodness, are you my friends at home? Anybody at home?
We'll see it better if you put it under the dock camera.
So I did at one point. All right. Can anybody at home tell me what this is? All right. Atria, what is that? Feather. So was there a TH sound in there, middle? Yes. There was. TH, so feather has that, so does that sound have to have at the beginning of the word? No, it can have at the beginning, the middle, or even the end sometimes. So let's start with let's look real quick at our, oh no, wrong page. This is Harrison. Let's see, screen sharing. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Oh no. Where is it? Hold on, my friends.
Wait, you just got out of the meeting.
No, No, I'm still in the meeting. Oh, Marty. Why is it gone? Hold on. Oh, never a dull moment at West Elementary. Okay, let's open it again and see. I have my reading today. I want you to tell me which words have a TH with the voice. I might have stuck some other ones in there. Don't let it trick you. All right, let's see what we can do. Sorry, I had to reopen it. It doesn't feel like me today. That seems to be the... Oh, no. Is it gone? Oh, no, it's not here. Oh, it's over here. There we go. I was really worried for a minute there. All right. It was Mother's Day. I did not... Oh, I hear voices. Here we go. It was Mother's Day. I did not have a gift for my mother. Neither did my brother. So we went to my father and asked him if he would take us to the store to look for a gift. He said he hadn't bothered to get one yet either, so we all went to in the car together. The weather was bad, and the smog in the city made it hard to breathe. But in the end, our trip was worth it because we found the most perfect gifts for Mother. There were some salts to help you bathe, some lotion for smooth skin, and some feather pillows to help you relax. All of those sounded very soothing to me. My brother found some rubber squishy toys. I told him they were for babies who are teething. There was more to the story, but we don't have time for that. So I just want to go line by line. Can anybody see anything in the first line? It was Mother's Day. I did not have a gift for my mother. Neither did my brother. See any words in there, my friends? Let me go ahead and see if I can. Ethan, you're here today. Excellent. I found your what word in there has a Which one do you see? Can you find a word in that first line for me?
Well.
Very first one.
I don't know.
Which one has a TH that makes a sound that you can feel on your throat? Neither? Neither is one? Okay, neither. Excellent. All right, Paxton. Mother. We have two mothers, don't we? Any other word in that first line? How about the second line? Mr. Logan Peters. What word do you see in the second line that has a
Brother.
Mr. Logan?
Brother.
Do you see one?
Brother.
Oh, I can't hear you, buddy. Oh, you know why I can't hear you? Because my sound is off. So sorry. You were talking. What's it now?
Brother.
Brother. Very good. All right. Thank you, sir. And reverberating. That's something on.
I'm off. My computer's off.
What kind of fun things going on? Abby? Father. Excellent. All right. Thank you. So we went to my father and asked him if he would take us to the store to look for a gift. He said he hadn't bothered to get one yet, so either. So we all went to the car together. Surnay, what do you see? Bothered. Everybody say, feel it. Bothered. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
Bothered. Henrik. Together. Feel it. Together. Excellent. Another one. Haley? Either. I can feel it right there in my throat. The weather was bad and the smog in the city made it hard to breathe. But in the end, our trip was worth it because we found the most perfect gifts for Mother. What do you think, Max? Weather. Feel it. Weather. Another one. Mr. Sawyer. Mother again. Good. What other one, Abby?
Breathe.
Breathe. Good.
Breathe.
Any others? Nixon? Do you see one? Ooh, you let me trick you. So everybody, put your hand on your neck and say worth. Do you feel that? Worth.
Worth or worth?
Worth.
I don't feel
On the TH, can we feel it?
No.
No. So Nixon, that was a tricky one. It is TH, but in this case, it's not a voiced one, so we're gonna leave it out. All right. There were some salts to help you bathe, some lotion for a smooth skin, and some feather pillows to help you relax. All of those sounded very soothing to me. Let's see, Elena. Say it again. There, very good. Right? There, very first word. Abby. Feather. TH is in the middle. Very good. Any ideas, Lennox? Soothe. So feel it. Let's see if we can feel it. Soothing. Can you feel it? Yeah, good. Soothing. Nice job, Mr. Lennox. All right. Lyric. Bathe. Ooh, let's feel it. Bathe. Can we feel it? Yep. Very nice. All right. Robert. Do you see another one in that paragraph? Mr. Robert? Those. Very good. Those in the beginning. Very nice. All right. Sawyer, see another one? Smooth. Smooth. Makes that sound, doesn't it? Otherwise, it'd be smooth. Smooth? Is that right? No, not smooth. All right. Good job. All right, last one. My brother found some rubber squishy toys. I told him they were for babies who are teething. August. Teething, right? Now, isn't this interesting? Teething. But if you said teeth, just without the ing, would it be the same sound?
No.
Teeth. No, but since we added ing, it's teething. Yep. Another one. Mr. Gabe. Brother. Very nice. All right. So now let's see how you do on some spelling. Here we go. Number one. Are you ready? Here we go. The first word is them. I gave them a big cheer. Them. 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 All right. I don't have my Wheel of Fortune today. I did make a new one, but I don't have it ready. So Gavin. Mr. Gavin, can you tell me how to spell them? Oh, we got to get Gabe in there again? Oh, right, because we had you just the whole circle, didn't we? You were the whole circle. Okay, you're going next. All right, Gavin. Okay, excuse me. I'm waiting for Gavin, my friend.
T-H-E-M.
Very good. T-H-E-M. Very good. Make sure that you have your stem on your M. T-H. T-H-E-M. That makes one sound. Them. Those two letters are making one sound as a diagram. Good job, Gavin. Nice job. All right. Oh, I just stuck Mr. All right. Here's number two. You might have just seen it. Father. My father likes to golf. Father. Father. Do you want this one? Do you want me to give you the next one? It's up to you. Did you want me? I mean, did you get to go? I don't remember. Do you want me to go on then? All right. Henrik. Father. So this one, it sounds like it's an O. It does, but it's actually an A. F-A-T-H-E-R. Father. F-A-T-H-E-R. There's a father. E-R for Number 3. Yes, Evie. Okay. Are you drinking your water? Okay. Let's give it a couple minutes, like maybe the food to get into your system and everything. If you're still feeling badly at when we get ready for recess, I'll let Miss Chris know, okay? Number 3. Then I want to go to the store then. Or then I want to go to the store. Then. 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 What do you think, Cole? T-H-E-N. Them. And then this is then. Number 4. Rather. I would rather not have to stand in the snow. Rather. Rather. I would rather not have to stand in the snow. All right, rather. Mr. Ryder, this one's yours. Unmute yourself, my friend.
R A
Yeah.
D H E R.
Very nice. Good job, Mr. Ryder. Rather. Rather. Hey, Miss Fitz is coming too. Miss Bird. All right, all my friends. All right, number 5. Hi, Miss. Hi, Lila. Hi there. Hey, my friend, we're using paper and we're doing our letters for our EL words.
Okay.
All right. So number 5. Those. Those are all mine. Those. No, I don't see a capital yet. Nope, no capitals. Not till my sentences, which should all have a capital. Those. O's. Now there's a secret letter at the end there, my friends. Secret letter at the end. All right, Gabe. Very good. T-H-O-S-E. Those. That E making that O sound, make it say its name. It's long O. Those.
And we have this comparison to ours go only halfway up. A lot of us are using the whole space to make our R.
Oh, no.
So you only need a
Halfway?
dotted line going
Yep.
across. So we kind of graduated from that kind of paper, but you don't want your R all the way up to the top.
Nope. Those. The only thing that should be going all the way to the top are the T and the H. They're the only letters that go all the way to the top so far. All right, number 6. These. These words are sometimes hard. These, Miss Abby. These. These. No, you're writing it. I'm waiting for you to write it. Ah.
Okay.
These. You should feel it on your throat, right? These. Makes that noise. These. All right. Miss Haley Booker. Close. T-H-E. No A needed. And then our S-E. These. All right. Number 1. Before I even tell you what the sentence is, what am I going to write on the side? cups. You know that I'm going to write cups because I want every single time for us to have all those words. I need that, so I'm just going to remind us what those words are so that Lennox can know. C always means capitals. You're going to check for your capitals. U is understanding. You're going to read your sentence back to you and make sure that you all, it makes sense. P is for punctuation and S is for spelling. All right, first sentence. Are you ready? Here we go. They have those cars. They have those cars. They have those cars. Everybody at home okay? Thumbs up if you heard my sentence. Miss Lila, you okay? Okay, good. I also have a Miss Bird today. Okay, 2 Lilas today. 3 actually, but all of them on Zoom today. All right, are we ready? Think you got it? Did you mark your C? Do you have your capital? Did you read your sentence back to yourself?
Yes.
Did you make sure you have ending punctuation?
Yes.
Are all of your words spelled correctly?
Yes.
I hope so. Here we go. They. T-H-E-Y. Have. Make sure you spelled have correctly. A lot of you like to leave off that E. Have is 4 letters. Have. Those we should be already familiar with because it was up here. And cars. How do I spell cars, Mr. Josh C?
C-R-C-A-R-S.
Very good. Oh, thank you. Need to make sure I have my end mark, right? They have those cars. Number 2, cups. Write your cups. Here we go. Should make sure that capital T is all the way. Now, some of you like to make it look like it's got a, maybe a T that looks like this. And say it's a capital because it's mostly up toward the top. It's really hard for Mrs. Harrison and Mrs. Aubin to tell if that's a capital or not. All right. So either a capital goes right along that top or a lowercase that's halfway. But don't make this kind of half in between thing. Because Mrs. Harrison and Mrs. Aubin don't know what that is. We're not sure which we were going for. All right, number 2. There are his brothers. There are his brothers. There are his brothers. There are his brothers. You got to think carefully. There are his brothers. There are his brothers. There are his brothers. So if you think you're finished, you're checking your cups. If you think you're finished.
Can you repeat?
You bet. There are his brothers. Over there. I'm making a point of making that because there's 2 kinds of theirs, aren't there?
Yes.
And so we have to be careful. So there are his brothers. Well, yes, more than one kind. So we have to make sure that we know which one it is, right? There are his brothers. Anybody want to guess or think or tell me what they think, Paxton? What kind of there do you think it is? Very good. Capital T, right? At the beginning, H-E-R-E. There's that R again. Make sure it's only halfway up. There are his, H-I-S, ladies, brothers. Let's see how you did. That word was there before. B-R-O-T-H-E-R. T-H-E-R-S. Brothers. Hey guys, if you missed something, what should you be doing? Correcting it, because what does that do for your brain? It helps it learn. So if you don't have, if you misspelled there, or you misspelled brothers, or, oh, you guys, oh no, hey, that's T-H-E-Y, friends. If you have a T-H-A-Y, you need to fix that. T-H-E-Y, that's going to be one of the words we practice for red words. That one gets misspelled a lot. They. All right, last one, number 3. Here we go. Put your cups. Mrs. Harrison should not have to tell you to put cups. You should know. All right. Are we ready? Mr. Finn, let's not throw things around, please. Here we go. That book is better than this book. That book is better than this book. Listen carefully. That book is better than this book. That book is better than this book. That book is better than this book. Feeling for that sound, right? Everybody, right now, if you're finished, I see people's pencils coming up. What should you be doing? Cups. Going back, checking it. Right. That book is better than this book. Maybe, yeah, maybe we should do that. Yep. We'll do that before the end of the day then. All right, are we ready? Okay, that book. What should we start with? Capital. That book. B-O-O-K. Make sure your K is a lowercase k, not an uppercase K. Does not go all the way to the top on the top part. That book is better. B-E-T-T-E-R. If you only put one T, you need to correct it and put 2 T's. Better. Than. I have a feeling this is where a lot of mistakes are going to be made. Than. T-H-A-N. Than. Not E. There's no E there. Than this. T-H-I-S. Book. And, oh, our K does not need to go all the way to the top there, and a period. If you liked, if you could have an exclamation mark there if you were really feeling strongly about it. That book is better than this book. The word than and the word then often get mistaken together. Than is when you're comparing 2 things. I like lemon better than mint. When I'm comparing, it's an A. Then is a time thing. I went over to his house. Then I went over to his house. That's an E. Then. This is time. This is comparing. So make sure you have that A there, my friends. Hopefully you have your cups. So today so go home and tell your parents. TH makes a and have them feel it. Tell them brother, mother, father. Have them feel it, because that way you'll remember it too. Tomorrow we're going to do the TH, but we're going to do the TH with a sound like thumb. All right. Tomorrow we're going to change it up a little bit with thumb. All right. Yes. All right. Yes, ma'am. All right. So I'm going to send this over to Mrs. Aubin. Aubin is going to do some work with us. And if you want, I have Epic up if you want, or you can do Epic's there if you want it.
Okay.
And then the other thing's there. Yeah. Oh, I'm not even wearing it. I didn't even take it out today. Sorry, you have it's fresh.
Wow.
Not derby.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you guys. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remind you of where we were last week. I feel like this has been a long, long weekend. So the last time we met for All Block and I got a chance to teach, we read about the painted lady butterflies and we introduced our nonfiction reading. Remember, nonfiction reading is when you're reading mainly about facts, right? Informational reading. So we all either had an assigned book in Epic Sawyer or you had a book put in your book bin so that you could read about life cycles. We kind of integrated our science with it. I read about the painted lady butterfly, and as I read, I came up with important details. I read a lot of information that led me to the fact that I understood the life cycle of a painted lady, which is the butterflies we learned about. The painted lady butterfly goes through complete metamorphosis. It has 4 stages: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. I found that information was important because it helped me understand what we had been observing in class. And then we also read about butterflies that were drinking nectar from flowers and sap from trees. And I found it very important that butterflies pollinate flowers as they drink. And the reason I felt this information was important is because pollination is necessary for flowers to continue to grow. And you guys made connections from 2nd grade and what you learned in science and EL there. So today we're going to continue our work, but I thought I'd read from a different nonfiction book. This is Mealworms, and I'm reading from this book because I have a funny experience with mealworms. I had a class pet, and it was a turtle, a box turtle named Snappy. And he eventually had to come home with me, and I always fed him mealworms. Well, I hadn't known much about mealworms, and I would leave the mealworms in Snappy's cage. And then one day I noticed that there was an alien in Snappy's cage, a very small little alien. And I had no idea what it was. And I had no idea that mealworms weren't just mealworms. So when I finally did some research, I learned more about them. So I'm going to read a little bit to you because some of you might not know about mealworms either and what happens to them. It's very interesting. Some of you might be reading this book. It might be in your book bed. But the goal today is to not just think about important information, Ellie, but think about the illustrations. You all are going to have illustrations in your reading because we are reading nonfiction, so we definitely have illustrations. And how do those illustrations help you understand the text? And these illustrations really help me understand not only the text, but what I went through with Snappy. Okay, so first I'm just going to read about mealworms. And if you're not sure what a mealworm is, that's what the mealworm looks like. You can buy them at pet stores. You can buy them at gas stations. People use them to go fishing as bait. So that's kind of cool. About mealworms. The first part of the name mealworm describes what these beetles eat. Meal is grain that has been ground into tiny pieces. The word worm describes the beetle's appearance at the larval stage. You should be getting some clues here. The 2 kinds of mealworms are yellow mealworms and dark mealworms. They look slightly different. Yellow mealworms are lighter than dark mealworms, but both beetles share many features and habits. Anybody have an idea what a mealworm really is? What's a mealworm, Cooper? Your chickens eat them. Awesome. Any idea, Lucas? Wow, lots of connections. Okay. They look slightly different. Yellow mealworms are lighter than dark mealworms, but both beetles share many features and habits. Keep listening. Mealworms are scavengers. They eat whatever food they can find. They eat mostly grain and grain products such as corn, wheat, and flour. Mealworms live in barns or places where people store meal. Mealworms usually live in the corners of barns or in other dark places. Some people raise mealworms to feed pet birds, fish, and reptiles, like Lucas was just saying. Others buy mealworm larvae in pet stores to feed their pets. People often call yellow mealworm larvae golden grubs. Many people use yellow mealworms as bait to catch fish. So in this picture, you can see this one's kind of a yellowish. These are pictures. This illustration helps me understand how that beetle is actually, what is the beetle going to be? What is this mealworm going to be? A beetle. A mealworm is really the larva stage of a beetle. Oh no. Okay, now I want to read this part because I'm going to use this illustration as my example, but I wanted to give you a little background there. So, pupas, this is the alien I saw on Snappy's cage. I just like, what is that? I said it has eyes. I could see little eyes, but it's not moving. It doesn't really, it looks like it's gonna have legs, but it's so creepy and it's see-through. And I was freaked out. I didn't know what it was because I didn't know where it appeared from because I just thought my mealworms were mealworms. So after its last larval molt, the mealworm larva becomes a pupa. During this stage, a protective shell develops. At first, the pupal shell is white. The shell grows darker and hardens as the pupa grows. The pupa does not eat or move. See, that was really weird to me. It just was still. I thought maybe my son put a toy in there. I didn't know. But many changes take place inside its shell. The larva's stubby legs grow into the jointed legs of an adult. Wings form. Eyes and antennas develop more fully. The body no longer looks worm-like. The pupal stage lasts from 10 to 20 days. A pupa's hard shell splits when the adult mealworm has fully formed. The mealworm has molted, that means like shed its skin for the last time. The mealworm is an adult, it has entered its final life stage, and for that, then you know it's I believe they're called darkling beetles. So that's what it's going to go into. But this is the one I wanted to focus on. So my question for you today, my focus or learning target is to read a nonfiction book. And Haley, can you whole body? Thank you. We're going to put that away. Thank you. I want you to choose one illustration that you think helps you really kind of grasp what you're reading, helps your comprehension. And this one is it for me because I think this is fascinating. This is the pupa stage, kind of like when we had our chrysalis, right? That stage for our butterfly, and it was kind of amazing. That's where it really happens. So this helps me understand what is happening with that mealworm. That a mealworm is really just a beetle. And this is where it really starts to happen. Is it an alien? No, it's not an alien. It's a beetle. So I would start, and you guys are going to do the same thing. You're going to start with something like this. The illustration, and an illustration is just a fancy word for picture or photo. The illustration I chose shows the what? What does this show? What stage? The pupa stage of a beetle. And look, if you're not sure how to spell, what are you going to use? Well, no, yeah, you can, but what else can you look at? Look at this, even has a words to know, because I saw Mrs. Harrison's writing them on the board, but you can also go to the back. You might have a little glossary, or you might have a words to know. That's what I love about nonfiction. The illustration I chose shows the pupa stage of a beetle. It helps me, remember, you need to say why it helps you. It helps me understand how a mealworm transforms. I can't even believe it. It's amazing. I can see the little legs. I can see the eyes in there. It's so cool. You can even see in this part of the photo, like where the wings are going to be. Fascinating. It helps me understand how a mealworm transforms into a beetle. So I'm not writing a ton, but I'm very clear about why this photo or illustration helps me understand what I'm reading about. So I want you to first read your nonfiction book, and if you are at home, you're going to read about the life cycle of a jellyfish. I thought I'm going to pick something totally different for you guys to read about. So that is a sign for you in Epic, and I can show you that in a minute. You guys here at home have books in your book bins that you're going to read from. You are then going to, as you read, be thinking about which illustration really speaks to you. Then in your EL Spiral, you guys have a Google form. You are going to say which illustration you chose, what it's a picture of, and then why it helps your understanding of the text. So really, I just did 2 sentences. And I thought about my cups, just like Mrs. Harrison was teaching us earlier. Put everything she put in place, add it to your writing today. Think about that. Make that transfer of what she's teaching you into your writing. All right, let me quickly see if you have questions. And I don't know, do you think I need to share with them, Mrs. Harrison? I will quickly just show you if you are at home.
I have a couple non-remote friends today.
Okay.
Like birds at home and.
Okay, so if you are remote, in your assignment today, which is Monday, and it's your all block. Today is the 19th already. Lesson 11, all block. I don't see it.
It'd probably be more.
It's just to be fun.
Just because we are so busy this week. We have a whole 5 days.
Thank goodness I put it in there. Here it is, all block skills, Monday, 12:45. When you go to your assignment, Ryder and Bird, here are your directions. You will also see you have Epic. You can click on Epic. It'll take you to the sign-in. You should just see Mrs. Harrison's class on the left side. The code is there if you need it, but usually I find that it just shows up with your name. And in your account, you'll see in the mailbox, you'll have the jellyfish book. I believe it will read to you if you need it to. And then you'll have a Google form. And on the Google form, it's just what the kids here are going to do in their EL Spiral. Don't forget your name. That's how I get your grade. It's 2 questions, really, besides your name. Choose an illustration. What is the illustration a picture of? Like mine was the picture of the pupa, a mealworm in its pupa stage, or a beetle in its pupa stage. Describe how it helps you understand the meaning of the text. And that's it. Please hit submit when you're done. I'm anxious to check these, and I know it's hard for me to give you feedback on these forms, but I do take grades on them, and I read them, and I laugh, and I giggle, and I think that's a great answer, Gavin, or nice job, Lila. So please make sure you guys do that. If you have a question in person or remote, raise your hand, and I'll be glad to answer it. Cooper. That's okay. Your book doesn't have to be about life cycles if it's not. Go ahead. You have the book already. We only got a chance to read it for 1 day, so we're going to read the same book today. But with a different focus, a different learning target of looking at how an illustration helps you comprehend the text. All right, any other questions, Mrs. Harrison?
Robert has one and Ryder has one.
Robert.
What are we supposed to be writing about?
Here it is right here. Do you see where I'm sharing my screen?
I know, but you said something to write about on paper too.
You're going to read the book, Jellyfish, The Life Cycle of a Jellyfish, and then answer this Google form.
Okay.
Sometimes when I'm talking to the in-person kiddos, it gets confusing. Ryder?
My computer doesn't show the class code to get into Epic.
Okay, let me go back. It's right here in the directions, honey. It says class code for Epic is EXC6348. It's usually in the directions. If you need to write it down, I can say it again if you want. EXC6348. All right then. My kiddos, you may line up to go back to get your nonfiction book and keep your EL spiral so you can write about your illustration. I'll see you guys at math.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Stuff for you about a chance.